All right, everybody, welcome to another live interview. Today I'm going to be interviewing Flip, absolutely amazing marketer. Actually just broke his first 20K month utilizing organic traffic strategies. So I'm super excited to have him here, break down some of his tips and tricks, and let you guys get to know him a little bit more. So if you guys jump on and you have any questions, feel free to drop them and he will answer them. And I'm going to go ahead and pull him in and let him introduce himself.
What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well today. Thanks for the intro there, Nate. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Super happy to have you on here. Seeing you all over the place. Being in some of the same spaces, and a lot on TikTok is primarily where, when I first started. Well, I was seeing. Sorry, I'm jumbling my words. I've seen you a lot in the communities that we're in already, but then I started seeing a lot of your content on TikTok, and it really, just the how genuine you are in your profile and stuff like that really inspired me in my own content as well. So I figured maybe just give a little bit about your backstory, stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So for those watching, if you don't know who I am, my name is Flip. A very short time ago, I was just a normal guy working a job that paid me really well. I was in the aluminum extrusion industry, and I worked 12-hour shifts, normally 60 to 90 hours a week. And yeah, at the time, both my daughters had been born. They're now 4 and 5. But when I was working those hours, I was missing a lot of time at home. I missed every first thing you can imagine: first birthdays, first steps, first words. I had to watch all that through video and text messages, and that didn't sit well with me. Now, working those kind of hours, you can imagine I was always tired. 12-hour shifts in the environment I was working in, it was 1, it was dangerous. 2, it was hot as shit. Even in the wintertime, it was 100 degrees in there, and we had to wear protective gear, hot sleeves, steel toes, pants, the whole 9. So I wanted to make a change. So I started to look for ways to make money online. And a lot of people don't know this, but my very first business model was actually drop shipping. That was the very first online course that I purchased. It was like $1,400. I was nervous as hell because, with my blue collar background, I didn't believe in the internet, to be honest with you. I didn't even want to buy shit from Amazon. But I took the leap. I learned some cool stuff. And I'd done drop shipping for a while. I also ran an Amazon store where I utilized that drop shipping model. Made some money, but quickly learned that it's a lot of overhead, not only to purchase a course, but then you have to worry with customer service. You have to worry with refunds, returns. You also have to keep up with your inventory as far as what's selling, what's not. And you have to buy your inventory before you can actually make a profit. So that whole little circle went on for a while. It was a big headache. Right? I'm not even going to lie. But I came across affiliate marketing 2018. But the first business model of affiliate marketing I came across was a done for you. Let me put my quote, a done for you funnel. And you had to get a product, and I was sold on the dream. All you got to do is pay for advertising. That's all you got to do. We'll run traffic to your product and you'll make sales. So I think it was over $2,000 later, I made my first affiliate sale, and it was $23. So part of me was excited because I made a sale, but another part was like, all right, if this is how this shit works, then I'm never going to make any money, right? So I spent like over $2,000 to make 23. So I knew that it was possible to make money, but starting with paid advertisement is a no-go for a brand new person. All right. Unless you have plenty of money to test and find your winning ad set, whatever. But finally I got into organic marketing, and I got in SAA last August. So in a very short amount of time, sticking with one thing, I've been able to produce some pretty wild results with a person with no tech background, no online background, sales, marketing, yada, yada. And the last 60 days, I've hit like 30 grand. So that's pretty awesome for me.
That's insane. Congratulations on that for sure. Beats $23 commission, right?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I feel like a lot of people can definitely relate to that, like myself included. That's literally like I started with FBA, Amazon products, and then into paid ads, or I was running paid ads for local businesses, and then run paid ads to products as an affiliate.
Right.
And it's a lot more difficult than it's made out to be. That's for sure. Especially if you don't know marketing.
Yeah.
So where are you, I guess, where are you actively, you're on TikTok and stuff like that. So if you could give someone advice or like some tips and tricks, I know you kind of just mentioned, like sticking with one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had to like tell someone what to do as a complete beginner who's looking to actually like start making those high ticket commissions without all these other pre-qualifications or experience, what would your recommendations be?
All right. If someone's brand new and they want to get into the game, I'd say the biggest thing a lot of us are all told is to focus on one platform. But here's a trick or a hack, if you will. If you're producing content, say on Facebook, and it performs well, you can repurpose that content and put it on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or wherever without spreading yourself thin to where you're like, all right, I got to be here, 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 and here. But one of the big things is to have a high quality product, for one. Not trying to sell anybody on anything, but you need to have something that's actually going to provide a transformation or a result. And they have to understand work is involved, because this shit does not happen overnight. But putting out content and being super genuine, you mentioned that earlier, I come across as genuine. And the reason I do that is, one, I just be myself. I'm not here to, just make money. Like, I really want to legit help people, right? I think that's really important as far as trying to make sales, but really on the back end, I just detach from the sale either way. Like yesterday was a $500 day for me. And at no point was I pressuring the person I was speaking to. I was just qualifying to make sure what I had to offer, which is multiple things. But I really just want to find the biggest problem if you're a seasoned person or a beginner. And anybody can get to that point, even if you're a beginner. If you can solve problems and actually have a servant's heart wanting to help people, sales will come more easily to you. I hope that kind of answered the question, because I'll ramble on and on and on.
Right? Yeah, I like that. That's a very good, genuinely building connections and helping someone solve problems. I feel like that's a huge problem, especially in the affiliate space. Is when for a lot of people who are just starting, they feel like, I think I just put out a post about it the other day. Why would anybody buy anything from me? I don't have results. Because you're not necessarily even selling products. You're selling transformations. You are, at least when you're in the online education space, like me and Flip are, you're selling something that's going to take someone to where they want to go. You're not just selling a trinket that's going to collect dust in their drawer or something like that. So that's definitely a good way to look at it. I like the repurposing content idea, because can be a daunting task for a lot of people, especially, thinking that they have to get on all these platforms and thinking, it's required.
Right.
Sorry, totally losing my train of thought.
I'll throw this out there too. If you're a brand new person, it's very easy to get overwhelmed with what you need to do. And I'll be very honest, I still get overwhelmed myself. The only difference is I can trigger on it a lot faster now. So looking at the most important things to do. All right. When you say generate leads, it makes perfect sense, but at the same time, a lead is a person, and you need to be treating them like a person, right? And then
Right.
you really need to produce content that is speaking to your ideal customer or your ideal lead, right? Because none of us want to work with time wasters or vampires, as we call them, trying to suck you out of all the free information they can get. All right. I'm here to serve people, but I'm also here to find the serious people at the same time. But you need to have a routine that's dialed in. If you don't know exactly what to work on, 100% sure Nate can help you with that. But the main things that I try to focus on is mainly content that's going to provide real value and also allow me to pull the serious people out of the audience that you're building. No matter what platform it is, I'm still genuine. I still tell the truth, but I'm very blunt in the stuff that I put out. Like, I'm not saying, hey, if you buy this, you're going to make $11,000 tomorrow. It's not going to happen. All right.
Right.
Like I said, if you find something that's push button make money, let me know. I'll go buy it today. But focus on what
Right. I like that. I like that. I feel like that's a breeding ground for false expectations, income claims and all the, you're going to make money extremely easy, and it works great for marketing, but it's it's not good for, the people who get in and the longevity of business, because a thing that I feel like a lot of people might overlook is if you can genuinely help people have success and they start having success, your brand will grow. Your actual company, your name, and everything that you're doing will start to explode, because people are actually getting results from the things you're helping them achieve.
Yep.
So just to even piggyback on we'll keep it like, when it comes to Facebook, a lot of people struggle with writing posts. That's a common thing I hear in my group all the time. How do you go about writing posts that allow you to connect with people, but at the same time extrapolate those leads like you're talking about, or people, not necessarily just leads?
I won't call this a secret, but really it's helped me a lot. So everybody struggles with, how do you find buyers? How do you connect with people on a different level? And anybody who watches this live or this replay, I want you to think about one thing. If you've already invested in some kind of program, training, mentorship, or whatever, I want you to think about the mind space that you were in before you pulled the trigger on buying. All right. 9 times out of 10, the people that we're looking for are the people that we used to be as a marketer. That's 100%, and call it a secret hack, if you will. But 9 times out of 10, we're looking for the old versions of ourselves, because I know that it's people out there that are motivated and are serious about making a change, and they already understand this is going to be work, but I want to make sure I follow something that is proven. Like SAA, for example, in my journey, like, I knew it was what I needed, and I was skeptical about pulling the trigger because I'd already bought dozens of other things that didn't pan out the way I wanted. But after talking to a bunch of people, I knew that that's what I needed, and I was still going to have to put in more work in order to get the results that I've gotten. It didn't happen overnight. I was able to use SAA to sell other products that were, helpful and beneficial, because if anybody knows, Nate knows for sure, but SAA isn't geared around you coming in there and being an affiliate for the program, though it's an option. You can use it to be a super affiliate for absolutely anything that's of high quality, right? Yeah. So you just learn the skills that you need as a marketer. And unfortunately, a marketer is getting a bad rep these days because of uneducated people, right? Like, we really want to serve people. That's it. Now, we get paid healthily in the process, but I don't feel salesy or spammy at all anymore. I get a lot of negative feedback from certain people, but your content just needs to be the truth. That's it.
Right. I like that. That's awesome advice, especially when it comes to content creation. Especially if you're doing something like Facebook, it's all about being personable and being yourself and connecting and building genuine connections. Because establishing that know, like, and trust is what it all boils down to. And if they believe in you, they'll believe in the products that you're recommending them to. So kind of backtrack. So even with all of your struggles, and as you mentioned, you bought into a ton of programs before you got into SAA, and things like that. What kept you motivated, for that's that, I know that might be like a very generic question because, there could be apparently can't speak this morning, tons of different variables when it comes to, being dedicated and showing up. Maybe what are some things that helped you continue to pursue when you weren't seeing results you wanted, or, how you kept yourself from like getting discouraged to the point where not opening your eyes to new opportunities or new things, like that?
It's actually a handful of things, but I will go back to March of 2020. The job I told you guys about in the aluminum extrusion industry, I was a supervisor there, one of the lead supervisors. I managed a team of 25 to 50 guys, and that was a 6-figure job. I made about $120,000 a year. Great job, worked a lot. But they furloughed me when COVID hit, and I was soon after terminated after putting in 10 years at that company. 10 years of loyal service, showing up, putting those kind of hours I told you all about. And I was let go. I wasn't able to draw unemployment because of how everything was handled. So I basically had over $100,000 just stripped out from under me. My wife was also furloughed and let go. So we had like a $160,000 yearly income that was just gone. So that was one big thing that motivated me, because it showed me, people always say I have job security, I'm important in the company. I thought I was too, but it showed me how quick that things can change and you can lose everything. So no longer did I have that employee mindset. I was like, I have to build something for myself. All right. And the second thing, that was a lot of motivation right there, because I did not want to go out and find another job where that could happen to me again. So I made it my personal vendetta to search and find and try until I succeeded. I didn't care how long it took. I didn't care, I was going to get to a point, and I did. I got to a point where I had to sell some of my personal items so I could keep going for what I wanted. Now, I live in a very nice house. Me and the wife have 2 nice vehicles, and we have 2 kids that will eat you out of a house and home if you let them. All right. So anyone with kids or bills in general, you can imagine the struggle that I went through last year. But when I look at my kids, I've been home full time now for like almost a year and a half, and being able to go and see my kids right downstairs, they pop in the office, just to go outside and play with them, that motivates me. One, I had a shitty childhood, alcoholic parent, so I knew I wanted to be there on a more personal level. And working from home, even though it took me, a long time to get to this point, it was all worth it. Now, if people want to skip the bullshit that I went through, Nate went through, then you just need to find something that you believe in, whether it's SAA or whatever it might be, and go all in. Be willing to sacrifice the nights out. I lost some friends, some close friends, because of how serious I took this. I deleted friends and family off of Facebook. But my main motivation that kept me going, my wife and my kids. Every time I wanted to invest in something, my wife would tell me the same thing every time. I believe in you. Just hurry up. That's what she said. What she said.
I think I remember you put a TikTok out that said that.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's actually that's an awesome testament. Like, you know, your all the trials and tribulations and stuff like that, and seeing where you've been able to take it and things like that. That's super inspiring to hear. I mean, I haven't heard that part of your story and stuff, so I appreciate you sharing it.
Yep.
So I think that. So would you say a big part of it has to, I know it's like a topic that nobody ever wants to talk about, but mindset, a big part of it has to dial in your actual mindset. So what's your opinion on the difference between like cost and investment when it comes to?
I put out a piece of content not too long ago. Hell, it might have been long ago, but I know I've done a YouTube video on it. Cost versus investment. Like, a lot of people get this wrong, because when they say, all right, well, here's what I want to do. I want to get to $10,000 a month, whatever your magic number is. Mine was 5K. But in order to get to that magic number, like, I'll frame it in a way that most people hear it a lot. So if you want to get to 5K a month, that's going to cost you $1,000. All right. Your investment is 1,000, but all they hear is 1,000. They immediately forget the part where that 1,000 is going to help you get to 5K a month, right? Like, I've been hitting over 5,000 consistently for like quite a few months now. My biggest month just happened to be, you know, like 22 and some change. But when you invest in something, if it has the potential to bring you more money, that's what makes it an investment. Like, if you're going to go buy a TV, that's a cost. You go buy that TV, it's because it's something you want, but that TV is not going to make you money. Plain and simple. That's the difference between a cost and investment, my personal opinion. So me now, I have no problem spending, you know, a crazy amount of money. You know, I just spent like another $4,000 on stuff that's going to help me level up for myself and the people that I work with. So I have no problem with that, because I know for a fact, as long as I do the work from that investment, it's going to yield, you know, another 50, 60 grand this year, like, without a doubt. I already know. So people need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. If you're doing something, staying in your comfort zone, that's where a lot of people like to stay, because they know what to expect and know what's going to happen. Versus if you invest $1,000 and you've got shit you got to do now, you're like, shit, well, I guess I need to take this serious, right? If you don't, then you just wasted $1,000.
You got some actual skin in the game now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one. I know a lot of people get nervous about, you know, I mean, for fair reason. You know, there's a lot of things out there that, you know, you don't necessarily want to waste money and buy into a lot of things that are, you feel like aren't a sound investment. But I'm usually a big advocate on, you know, investing. And I, like, even as you just mentioned, you're leveling up, and that's a big thing is, you know, there's no end. That's, you know, for me, at least when I look at it, I feel like, you know, my mindset used to be like, I was chasing this end point. Like, I was going to get to this point where I was going to get to my business, and it was just going to be good. But in reality, what happens is there's always the next thing. There's a new level you need to hit. There's a new lesson you need to learn. There's new people that can help you break through those trials and tribulations that have been through what you're going through. So can save you tons of time if you just ask for help.
Yeah, like, man, I agree with you 110%. Like, most people, they look at it like, well, if I get to $10,000 or $20,000 a month, then I'll be good. No, you're going to be at another level of discomfort, because when I made that amount of money, I was like, it blew my mind, right? I was pinching myself like, is this shit real? Is this happening? But at the same time, I knew that it was time for me to level up again. Like, if I want to maintain that or get to a $30,000 a month or a 40 or 50, and whatever the case may be, you got to operate on a different level. And that brings up a point that I'd love to touch on that I practice, and it's called future pacing. Right. If anyone's ever heard of that, I'm not sure how many people are watching or if any questions are popping in or not, but future pacing, basically you're going to think about the person that you want to be 6 months from now. It should be a completely different person than you are right now. And think about how that person is going to act and move. How are they going to make decisions? How much money do they make? How are they serving people? What are you driving? Like, really, what are your monthly income? Is 6 month you making $20,000 a month? Well, then you need to look at that, the person you want to be, and then start acting like that person today. How's that person going to move? What kind of routine is he going to have every day? How does he make decisions? Is that person going to be skeptical about pulling the trigger on a $1,000 to $2,000 or $5,000 investment so that he can level up to hit $40,000 a month? No, that person's going to be like, hell yeah, this is what I need. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be uncomfortable and then I'm going to grow. I'm going to repeat that process until I get really comfortable.
Sorry, I was just totally typing in the, seeing if anybody, I guess I could just say it. But yeah, that's a big one. Getting help and like having others help you break through that. Sorry, totally. That's the last future pacing. I like that methodology though. Like, not even necessarily pretending, acting as if you're already where you want to be and, becoming, kind of like compound effect and building up these habits that will in turn create the type of person that you want to be or help you become the type of person you want to be. Yep. There is a few people here in the live. I think a few of them are in SAA. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. If you guys need any tips and tricks on how to convert sales or, whatever, that's why we're here. So, yep. So totally out of the totally different topic, but so how do you go about, obviously you have if you're making serious amounts of money and you're making consistent, what kind of daily input do you have to put in to achieve that? You said you make around 5K a month every month, or you have for the last while. Yeah. What does your typical day look like? What are you having to do on a daily basis to maintain that income?
Really now in the beginning stages, I was like in Messenger hardcore, like 100%. Everybody has to go through that. You got to grind it out. You got to be adding targeted friends. But like now, I'm not going to say it's easier, but it is easier. Like right now, I'm sitting on over 400 friend requests that I got to go through that are all inbound. I haven't really sent friend requests in a long time. And I kind of clean up my profile pretty often. And I only have an audience of like 1,300 people. Right. So to let people know, you don't have to have a big audience to crush out consistent sales, as long as it's targeted. Like I need to do another cleanup because I have a lot of Happy Tuesday sons of bitches on my profile. But as far as my input for the day, I told you earlier, but I've been kind of quiet, just observing. It's cool to sit back. So I've just been watching everybody else's content and seeing a lot of the same patterns. But when I get back into my normal routine, I like to get up, get my coffee, come into the office. I'll check my emails, check sales, respond to people, whether it's on whatever platform. And then I would like to engage on my feed at least 10, 15 minutes. And then I'll make my post. I will try to send and follow up with people I'm already speaking to. If it's someone that was interested, a couple weeks ago, I'll pop in and just say hello. I do not try to pressure sale. I don't push anybody to do anything. I really focus on getting people quick wins. Like today, I jumped on a call with a guy. He had some questions, wanted me to help him. Now, here's a trick. Other people might go against this because they don't want to waste their time, but I will typically try to help someone get a quick win on a 15-minute call, and that's going to do one of two things. It's either going to show them your shit, and it's also going to show them that, hey, he's serious about helping people. Now, the people that you help get a quick win, they're going to be more inclined to do business with you. Like, all right, if he helped me do this for free, I can only imagine what he's going to do if I pay him, right? And I keep that open to everybody. I'll help you with a quick win. No strings attached, no pressure, no nothing. And that's really what I'll focus on. I'll try and send, 10 to 20 messages per day, whether it's someone I've already talked to or someone that I've just accepted a friend request from. I don't look for a response immediately. It just lets them know, hey, I sent a message. Whenever they respond, that's when I'll start the conversation. But so many people are doing it, and so many people are trying to quick pitch. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Get to know the people. If they open up to you, great. If they don't waste any time on them. Some people aren't even aware that they have a problem. You can try and pry a little bit, but a lot of people get offended by it. I don't even waste the time. If they're giving me short responses, I'll just move on. I'm not gonna beg you to let me help you solve your problem. You can keep struggling by yourself. That's how I look at it. If you're serious, you have a problem, I'm glad to help you with a quick win. Then later down the road, you're probably going to buy something from me.
Right. So I think that's an absolutely amazing tip, especially when it comes to organic Facebook. You totally just hit the nail on the head with something a lot, myself included, I struggled with for a very long time. And a lot of people do wrong. You're sending out these cold DMs, copy and paste scripts, super aggressive, treating everyone as if they are all hot leads. And in reality, there's different layers and different strategies. You have people that don't know you have people do. So I definitely think I don't think obviously the way that you're doing it is working extremely well. So when it comes to like having an offer of your own, how am I going to word that? Sorry. A lot. So a big misconception I feel like a lot of people have is like when they get into the affiliate marketing space, they have a product and that's it. But we know, we've been in part of things that kind of talk about packaging and, creating your own types of offers. So what type of offer or what types of things are you offering that's actually enticing people to, obviously spend, $20,000 worth of commissions with you each month? What does that entail? Is it some crazy types of stuff or?
I'll let you guys in. So I look at it like this. Remember a second ago, I told you I've been observing and I see a lot of people doing the same things just from a different person, rewording it a little bit. I offer a lot of extra support when people come into something with me. Now, to give you an example, one of my clients right now, he's actually a speaking and vocal coach for people that speak on stage as well as people that sing. All right. So what I did with him is I sold him a $2,000 package with a Google document. All right. This was before Jacob really started talking about it, in depth and in detail with some of the other strategies. But when you look at what we do, I don't know why people put such a bad thing towards it because we're legitimately helping people. But you really need to think about how you can stand out. And here's something that a lot of us go through, shiny object syndrome, right? We've all did that. So here's how you can use shiny object syndrome to your advantage. More than likely, you've got access to other information, right, from stuff that you've went through. And it's not all bad. There's probably something good in everything that you've ever bought. You can use those as assets, all right? So like me, for instance, I took a $10,000 coaching course. There was a 60-day program around client acquisition and also organic strategies. So I'm able to offer a lot of different things. Another program I went through was designed specifically for closing high ticket sales. So you can imagine I've probably got some really cool shit that I can offer people that are coming into this. Now, what really stands out with my offer, and I'm not suggesting you do this if you can't back it up. All right. So people that come into something that I offer, whether it's, FCR, SAA, or any of my other stuff, I work with them. I offer one-on-one support once every week or every 2 weeks, and I work with them until they make their investment back. All right. It's not a lot of people that are offering that. You might have seen some of it with Aaron, but that's a big deal, especially people that come into the basic package of SAA, because you don't get the coaching calls, you don't get the Facebook mastermind. So that's another good way that you can leverage your bonuses and how to make your offer stand out. Like, I haven't put out a serious offer post in a while, so it's about that time. So, I tell people, go back and look at my stuff. Go back and look at what I got engagement on, what I didn't get engagement on. You'll probably see some of my 2-step posts. The last one I did, made me a couple grand. So it's really all in how you position yourself and if you can back up what you're saying. So I'm not saying go out there and say, hey, if you buy SAA from me, I work with you until you get your shit back. You have to be able to back up what you're saying.
Right.
So,
you got to be able to actually help them get results.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Right.
Yeah. So I was just curious because I know that's a big thing for, they feel like, you literally just said a huge part of it. It's not complicated. I feel like that was the underlying message, is literally a Google document. You don't have to have this crazy, system or, automation or all this fancy tech. In reality, having a simple 1-page offer document and, like you said, a 15-minute call or something like that could be extremely powerful.
Right.
So Kevin asked, what is the most common quick win you've helped people get?
That's a couple things. Let's see. Today was I gave a guy some very simple information on what to look for as far as dialing in your ideal customer. Another one was a quick win so that he could grow his audience on TikTok. That was one I gave yesterday. Talked to a guy for about 20 minutes, and I gave him a strategy like, hey, here's how you can go make money without having any money. Here's how to grow your TikTok audience. Like, I don't mind telling people, certain things. I just don't want people to keep coming back trying to get free information from me, because I do the quick win strategy to show them I know what the hell I'm talking about. So go do this. If it works, it's going to be because you've done what I told you to do. So then when they come back, I'm not a dick or an asshole guy, but I'm like, look, all right, you saw what I just told you works. So now you can either keep doing everything I told you, or you can invest with me and hire me to help you. Simple as that.
That's all I like. Yeah, that's awesome. Like, I like that strategy. I feel like a lot of people are afraid to actually make offers, and actually present any type of offer. So, I mean, as you mentioned, you're leading with value. You give them the quick win. And then when they come back, you're like, hey, if you want to work with me, you can. If you don't. So you don't pitch at the end of this 15-minute clarity call or the quick win at all, right?
Nope, not unless they actually ask me a direct question.
Right.
But typically I get on there just to help with a quick win. Build a real relationship. When you go out on I don't know if we got any females watching, but you don't go out on a first date and, try and get it done on the first date, right? You want to get to know them, see if you have that vibe with them. So keep that in mind.
Right, like proposing on the first date.
Right, you don't want to do that.
What else was I totally forgot what I was gonna ask you. So yeah, if you guys are on here, if you have questions, feel free to ask them. I I know it's been kind of slow today, but it is what it is. Hopefully we get a lot of traction on the replay, right?
Right.
Oops.
I'll read you guys a message that was sent to me this morning. This is what you get to look forward to. And I still didn't. Let me read the message first. I wake up to some crazy messages sometimes, but I won't say exactly what the person asked for, but it says, "Hey Flip, I hope you're doing great. I just wanted to ask if you use blank, and if yes, which one? And if you do, I want your affiliate link for it." That's the kind of messages you want people to hit you with, right? So that's the point we all want to get to. You wake up to a message saying, "Hey, do you have this? If you do, can I have your affiliate link?" Like, and I didn't even send it to her back right away. Protect your time, obviously. Take that serious, and be willing to tell people no. Like this person, you know, I've got a relationship with. She hasn't never bought anything from me, but she's one of the people that watch your content without ever engaging or liking. So you never know who's watching. So continue to show up, put your stuff out there, because she asked this question about a certain product from a post that's pretty old. So that shows me that she's going back and looking at a lot of my stuff, this, that, and the third. But you never know who's watching. Build the relationships. If you build the relationship, the revenue will follow. And this is going to be a reoccurring commission monthly. So it's one of those good deals.
Right. That's the dream right there. That, you know, get people, when people reach out to you and ask for, that's like attraction marketing at its finest, right?
Right.
That's a good point, especially for people who are looking to get into organic Facebook. You know, that's a vanity metric a lot of people chase is, you know, comments, engagements. But as you just mentioned, there's a huge portion of people who will sit back and watch your content. And by the time you ever even have that interaction with them, they feel like they know you. They've been watching you. They understand where you're at. They feel connected to you by your content. So showing up even when you're not seeing those results is super important, because somebody's probably watching out there. If you have a friends list, obviously, not if you have like 10 friends, but
right.
So would you recommend going with, you know, this is going to be kind of a generic question, because I mean, I know you're about Facebook. If you have you dabbled in other platforms? I know you're on YouTube, you're on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
But what are some of the pros and cons of, you know, maybe Facebook in comparison to other traffic methods?
All right. Let's do Facebook versus TikTok. Facebook, you know, your organic reach is going to be based on you priming your feed. If your friends list is targeted, you know, you basically control that. Versus what I like about TikTok is you have the potential to reach so many more people, but you really can't control it. Versus, you know, it really depends on your content and hashtags, time you post, this, that, and the third. So more reach on TikTok, more targeted on Facebook, because you can control who's on your friends list. You can say, I don't want to be friends with this person. Like I told you, I got over 400 friend requests to go through, and I'm dreading that shit. But like I vet everybody, which is why I dread it. Because if I go to your profile, you don't have a profile picture, you haven't posted anything, you know, within the week, then you're going to automatically get a decline from me. So right. That's I'd say pros of Facebook is you control it, who is on your friends list, but you can't really control the reach per se. Even if you do prime, I'll have days where I'll get awesome engagement, other days where it's like, where's everybody at? Versus TikTok, you're going to get a certain amount of eyeballs on your stuff either way. And video content is more personable, in my opinion, but you have to be able to keep the viewer's attention as well. So you got to kind of mix it up between both platforms. And I've only been on TikTok actively for like a little over 2 months, but I've built a pretty large audience on TikTok pretty quick.
Yeah, you blew up pretty fast. I think you already passed me up. I mean, you do great content on TikTok. I like how you have. I think you made a video about it yesterday, talking about it's not all business, and that's a big part of it is pigeonholing yourself into only business, like coming across like you're a robot.
Right. People get turned off by that. They want to see real people. Like, if you look at me, most people, if I don't have my hat on, like a bald-headed, bearded guy with tattoos, why should I listen to him? Yeah, well, I done been through some shit, and I've probably done a lot of stuff that you want to do. So I can tell you how to skip it all, or you can just go your own way and hate life for a little while.
Well, if nobody has any questions, we will probably wrap this up. It is already at about 45 minutes. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. So if there's anything else you want to touch on or any other thing you would advise at the end, then feel free. And if not, then
I'll leave you with a message. If you want to win online, just don't expect anyone to save you. You're going to have to do some work, but you can expedite the process if you get someone who's already been in the trenches that you're looking to crawl in.
Right. Yeah, that's it. Getting someone to help you. That's a big one for sure.
Yep. Other than that, I enjoyed it, man. And if I see any comments come through later, I'll try and respond if they're directed to me.
How do you go about people who are making mistakes, but they don't see that they are yet?
That's a tough one, man. That kind of goes back to people being problem aware, but at the same time, like I left somebody a message. I had someone reach out to me yesterday, brand new friend. I hadn't sent him an outreach message. And this is a prime example. So he sent me a message. I said, hey, was there anything you saw on my profile that stood out to you, or was I in the suggested friends list? And he was like, I actually saw you in such and such group, and I just wanted to reach out and see if you were struggling with anything. Now, that right there, that tells me one big thing. This person is brand new, and he's really just fishing, all right? He's fishing. He didn't try to do no relationship building. If he'd done any of his homework, he would have seen my content. And, I talk about some of my results here and there. He would have knew that I wasn't really struggling with what he was trying to help me with, right? But I said, normally I would this is how I responded. I said, normally I would give you some tips, but that offends a lot of people most of the time. And that was all I sent. So it's really hard to see someone making a mistake because they already think they know it. So I would say if they're on your friends list and someone's making mistakes, then I would put that in your content. That way they will potentially see it and you're not directing it straight to them. Like, I got so many content ideas right now from people just in my messages. So if you're struggling with content ideas, they are endless if you look in the right place. Messages, other people's content, just pay attention to the things you don't think you should, and you'll have endless content ideas.
All right. Yeah, that's a solid tip right there, for sure. Because then, especially all the content you put out is going to be resonating with the exact people in your audience.
Right.
So even just to piggyback on that even a little bit more would be like, if you have like people that are, always freebie seekers and seeking out all these free ebooks, or they're doing the same things in your audience over and over again, looking at all of those things for content ideas, because when you put out a piece of content that's calling that exact strategy out, if you have a lot of people doing that, they're going to feel that, people are going to comment on it like that's my exact story, you know?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I appreciate you jumping on and taking the time with us. If you guys, as Flip did mention, if you guys do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. He'll respond to them. He is in the group. You know, check out his profile, his content. You know, he's killing it. He's on TikTok and Facebook and YouTube. He's got some great videos on YouTube. Absolutely inspiring. So,
Thanks, Nate.
yep.
All right, guys, y'all have a great day.
Awesome. See you guys.